So guys, this is my motorized bike. I thought I'd just show you everything about it and what I'm going to change eventually, and some things that happened from my experience. So whenever I bought the kit, I bought this bike with when I bought the kit. It's a Huffy and Lusso from Walmart. I've seen a lot of folks on there with them, and they're pretty easy to motorize. In my case, it wasn't really that easy. The whole reason I bought these wheels was because they're meant for motorized bikes for one thing, but the original wheels that came with the bike, I messed it up down here. I bought one of them hub adapter sprockets, one that goes on your hub instead of in your spokes, and it fit, but this chain idler that went right here, when I'm touching my toe, the chain idler that mounts to your frame, I didn't have a darn thing on tight enough, and when I was going down the road, it ran pretty good there for about 3 or 4 miles, but after 4 miles or somewhere in the 4th mile, it pulled into my wheels and destroyed my back wheel and threw me off the bike. And I was going pretty fast too, so it could have been dangerous. So that's why I bought these wheels, because I liked them, and they're just meant for motorized bikes. And I got the new chain idler right there that mounts to the motor. And I bought caliper brakes to put on it. Another thing that happened to this kit, this is like the cheapest kit ever. If I had to do it over again, I would put the money forward to buy a better kit. Another thing that happened was this right here, the petcock. I know this looks pretty rednecked out, but the petcock mounts up here. Petcock goes up here on the gas tank, but it didn't have a right gasket or something or another, and it leaked awful. So what I did, I went on the internet and bought the cheapest petcock I could find, and I run me a piece of sink hose. I've had 2 or 3 people tell me that that's going to hurt my motor. So far it ain't really. I'm thinking about going to go get me a real gas line and fix that right there. I just put the petcock right here, and it comes down here and it goes up there and then the carb. It works right now for the time being. If it don't hurt anything, I might just keep it on there. Yeah, I bought this thing right here, this dual pull caliper brake. It works pretty good. I'm thinking I'm going to get mechanical disc brakes. The reason being because you go so fast. There's a lot of hills where I live, and you have to pedal. You got enough momentum, it'll carry you up the hills. But whenever you go down those hills, man, you can fly. You can just hold your clutch in and just fly down the hill, just coast down the hill. And look what these are doing to my brand new wheels. It's taking the paint off, and it's eating the brake pads up all to pieces. So I don't really like having caliper brakes. I wish I had coaster brakes. Coaster brakes would be pretty ideal, but you know how that happened. Probably the most performance increasing mod or aftermarket product I've purchased for this thing has been this muffler. Now I'm not biased on BBR tuning, but a lot of people down them. But this is a BBR tuning back muffler, or not muffler, it's just really a straight pipe, and the wheels come from BBR tuning, and that's good stuff. A lot of people down on them, I ain't had a problem with them, and I've rode this bike about 100 miles. But this pipe right here makes this bike go so much faster, and it just opens it up so much more going up the hills. Like, it gives you more power, I guess, where it's open. I don't really know how to explain it. But first, the pipe that comes down here, the muffler, you know, pretty quiet. I liked it quiet, don't get me wrong. I like having quiet things, it's just nicer. And come down here this way, and I found online you can take that cap off on the bottom, the baffle cap, and it makes it louder, but it opens it up pretty good. But I thought maybe, you know, I went online and I researched this part right here, this pipe, and it does a lot better than that mod, I think. And I like how it comes out the back. It just looks, you know, like a miniature motorcycle. I mean, in a way it is a motorcycle. It's a bicycle with a motor on it, but you know, it's just something nice to have. I rode it to my work, and I might ride it in the summertime. I've just been riding it on pretty days. And I wanted to keep the fenders. Another thing, I wanted to keep the fenders, but when I put these new wheels on, the fenders rubbed. Just must be how the wheels are. And I bought that light. I ain't tried it yet. More or less just there for looks. This light right here. But it looks pretty cool. It makes it look like a little motorcycle. And I love chrome. A lot of people black these things out. They put as many black components on there, colored components, as they can for the motor. But I love chrome. I really just want to try to make it look like a more of like a motorcycle, and more like kind of like a Harley, I guess, in a way. One of the old time Harleys or Indians. Another thing I had to do was, man, I'm telling you, if you get one of these BBR 10 mag wheels, you need to put thread locker on the bolts that hold this drive sprocket on, because if you don't, the vibrations from this motor will rattle those things out. And I learned that the hard way, going down the road, and every one of them seemed like fell out at the same time, and I lost every one of them. But luckily, Tractor Supply has a plethora of nuts and bolts and different things, lock washers. Tractor Supply does. And I went to Tractor Supply and I found the right size bolts, but the ones that come stock with this thing only engage about 30%. So I got extra long, well, I think these are like 16 thread or something like that, 20 thread, somewhere in that vicinity. And they come out the back right here. So when I put thread locker on them and everything, they work just fine. Now they ain't come out, but just in case they do loosen up, I think there's enough room back there. I bought some lock nuts. So I just unloosen them a little bit and put lock nuts on the back. So that's my bicycle, and I know y'all want to hear it. So I'm going to come back in just a second. I'm going to start it. I'll be back in just a second. So here is the bike running. I know you probably can't hear me that well, but this is the bike running. It's pretty loud.